Back live trackside Pocono Raceway. The American Sim Racing Club back in action once again. A little bit of a break for us out of the broadcast booth last week. We're going to catch up with some of the action from last week at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Hot, heavy, highly contested battle coming down to the final few laps. We'll get into that here in just a handful of moments, but first, how you doing? How you feeling? Out there in TV land, race fans, glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, David the Cape, bringing you all the calls from trackside. Speaking of trackside, we're going to jump right into some of your qualifying action. The Premier Racing Setup Pole Award. Up for grabs, track temperature 97 degrees, 2.5 mile tricky triangle. Here at Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Let's see who's at the top of the speed charts for the time being. Right now, provisional pole belongs to the number 71 Viagra Machine, keeping it up at the front of this field. Brett Hahn, quick time. Here in qualifying, he's going to come across the start and finish line the quickest, 53.46, the fast time. Wildison right behind him, 53.49, quick time for Wildison. McFlurry, top 5 runs so far. 14 driver field here tonight. Who will take that provisional pole right there? There goes that 08, and whoa, there goes the graphics and time and scoring. We're going to get that cluster out of the way. Braxton DeWeese, top of the speed charts now. 53.29 is the fast lap for last week's race winner. That's right, you heard it right. Our fourth different winner in 4 weeks. Victory lane is a hard place to repeat. Will we see our first repeat winner here tonight from Pocono? A long night, 200 miles. Gonna be some hard fought battles. Will we see drivers drive in deep on the tunnel turn? It's a place you can make up a little bit of time, make up a lot of ground. If you can catch a driver sleeping just a little bit there, you can see out on the track, that's Jimmy McIntyre, 81. His time lap. Braxton DeWeese still top of the speed charts right now, holding down that Premier Racing Setup Pole Award. Provisional pole, DeWeese, the 08, 53.29, quick time, just about 60 seconds remaining here. So Postma, Payne, Hoffman, all out on track. They're going to have to lay down a one and done qualifying attempt here. Postma on lap number 2. Only good enough for 11th on his first time lap. We'll see if that timing scoring worked itself out. Not really, just a little bit here. Hoffman going to go 5th on the speed charts with his one and done. 30 seconds remaining. Can Andrew Payne shock them all here at Pocono and walk away with the pole? Man, it's gonna be close. Payne gonna cross the start finish line with 15 seconds to go and not gonna do it. He is not gonna take the pole position. Braxton DeWeese gonna start from the start. Gonna start from the front of the field here tonight. Start right where we left off last week at the end of the race at Atlanta. We're going to step away for a brief commercial break. Get ready to go trackside for your national anthem and starting lineup. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
We'll bring you back live trackside after the flyover as drivers get set to hit the starting grid. The fans in the stands beginning to try to get the best opportunity to watch these drivers roll off of pit lane and come to the green flag here tonight for the American Sim Racing Club Gen 4 Series Pythagorean Theorem. 280 laps of racing around this 2.5-mile tricky triangle. It is going to be a hot and heavy battle getting into turn one. I can assure you that. Drivers ready to roll, so let's head trackside. There you can see them all lined up on pit road, awaiting your pole sitter. Last week's race winner at the Peach Cup 201 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. There he is behind the wheel of that Bennett's 08 machine, Braxton DeWeese, looking to do what nobody's been able to do. Let's go back to back. Visits the victory lane. Will he get the job done? We're going to find out here in just a handful of moments. But as we begin to roll, you hear those familiar sounds in the background. It's time to run down tonight's starting lineup. And what turn for? Live from Pocono Raceway, starting inside row number one. He's going to bring us to the green flag. Last week's race winner, top of the speed charts once again, the 08 of Braxton DeWeese. Brett Hahn, Brent the Jet, going to start just to his outside with Brian Wildison and Nick Fleury in row two. Back in row number three here tonight from Pocono Raceway, the 86 of Stephen Hoffman, the 38 of David Patton, Mac McLean, and Hayden Swank, row number four. Back in row number five, the 81 of Jimmy McIntyre Jr. Rounding out the top 10, the 18 machine of Devin McDonald, John Demester. Newcomer rookie debut here tonight at Pocono. Going to start inside row number six with Zachary Postma just to his outside. Finishing out the field here tonight, previous race winner behind the wheel of that Team Conti, number 93 machine, Andrew Payne, will start from the tail end of the field. He'll have the 51 of Ron Hart right beside him. Field makes their way through turn number three. Pace car ready to dunk off, and we're ready to roll. Fans on their feet, pace car in. Away we go. Green flag flies for the first time here tonight from Pocono. You know, race fans, we're missing a handful of drivers in tonight's race, notably so. Previous race winner Tanner Tallarico not in the field here tonight. Tanner going to take a big hit in the point standings. Also, Al Smith not on the track here tonight. Owner operator of that Al Smith Speed Shop. Not in the field here tonight. Top break for the New York native, unable to make the trip to Pocono. We'll try to check in and see if he's going to make the list next week when we head to Bristol Motor Speedway. But it's all about the action on track here in lap number one. Going to come to a close. Brett Hahn going to make the pass and take the position away. Olsen going to fall back to second. New race leader at the front of this field. Brett Hahn going to show the way back to one. Moving in the rear of the field. So we're going to look to the inside. Zachary Postman. But you can see that number 8 machine making a move on Hayden Swank. 31 of Matt McLean opened up the window. You can see the 51 of McIntyre trying to follow suit. Door not quite closed just yet. He's going to take a look to the inside, down the road pond straightaway, and into turn number 2. Take the position away. From that 35, single file racing at the front, jockeying for positions here in the mid-pack. Postman now battling with Hart. Big mover here tonight, up 6. Make that, yes, make that 6 positions here. 35, got to take a look down to the inside now on that 81 machine. Jimmy McIntyre Jr. falling to the back of the field here. He's going to fall back to 13. Still making moves. Ron Hartman. And on a mission. Matt McLean picking up a position again. Gonna grab that 6th spot away from Stephen Hoffman. Nothing changing at the front. Brett Hahn still leads Braxton Louise. Brian Robinson still sits in 3rd with Nick Fleur. Chris, good to see you out there in the chat. Glad you could stop by here this week. We do apologize. We're unable to bring you the coverage of the last week's race. The Peach Cup 201 from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Braxton doing a hell of a job all race long. Coming down to the end, took the race lead with 4 laps to go and did not look back. So one heck of a job to that 08. We'll see if he's got something up his sleeves, maybe just biding time here at Pocono. We know tire falling off can be very big. Strategy-wise, these drivers are going to be able to make it just about. It's going to be close on a one-stopper. You're going to really have to stretch it. So we'll see what approach drivers have here tonight. It looks like Hahn, he's in go mode, starting to walk away from his fellow drivers. We're going to take a look back here at the back of the field as we drop the time and score. To the left-hand side of your screen, let you find and follow along with your favorite driver in the field. Swank, McDonald, McIntyre, and Demester back here at tail end of the field. 11, 12, 13, 14. Still looking for positions, looking for room to run the Miller Lite number 2. Like he's just logging some laps right now, just trying to feel out the field, feel out the car before he gets to racing here tonight. Not necessarily a bad move. We're going to move just outside of your top 5. Let's take a look here with Matt McLean. Ron Hart starting to close in on him. That's going to bring him to 6 machine. Stephen Hoffman. That's 6 right there, running an 8. So as we get single file racing, we're going to jump around a little bit, try to bring you some different camera shots, different battles, different aspects of the racing here from Pocono Raceway. Now we're going to jump on board with the man sitting in 3rd behind the wheel of the 951, Brian Wildison. A great run over the past about 3 weeks. Wildison has been one of the drivers you've had to look out for as we jump on board. He's going at it side by side with your pole sitter. beautiful camera shot at the man putting in work behind the wheel. We'll see how they go out of 3. Coming across the start finish line, almost contact there as DeVries a little bit loose. That high side maintained the momentum in turn number 1. Beautiful camera shots as we continue to watch the battle unfold for that second and third position drivers, losing ground to your race leader Brett Hahn. 1.3 second advantage for Hahn as he works his way in the middle of 3. Back across the stripe, lap number 8. Continue to watch this battle unfold at the front of the field. We've got another battle brewing in the Matt McLean. Matt 31, Napa Machine. Along with Ron Hart, they're chopping it up from 6th and 7th on the racetrack. Let's go back there for just a moment if we can. Let's highlight these drivers running just outside of the top 5. There's a little look at them working their way of turn number 1 back down Long Pond straightaway. Another little battle back here with Postma. Zachary Postman, that number 8 machine just in front of Jimmy McIntyre, who's kind of found his groove. McIntyre is settling in, finding a rhythm, finding a groove, and starting to make some headway here tonight. Looking to the inside now as they enter turn number 3, down on the bottom. Right out of the exit of turn 3 here at Pocono Raceway. Jimmy McIntyre Jr. giving us something to talk about early here as lap number 9 underway. 2 positions, 1 corner. Thank you very much, McIntyre. Back to 9th. So as McIntyre tries to find some speed, looks like he's going to separate himself just a little bit from Postman. We'll transition a little further up in the field, back to the battle between McLean and Hart. The Bernard's 51 machine not going to look to the inside this time through 3. Looks like he may be content just to kind of bide a little bit of time here, save a little fuel by staying in the draft. That very well could help him as this race unfolds. Pocono, one of the tracks that's known to lend itself to long green flag runs and really into the hand of the fuel strategists. A lot of these races here on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator, come down to fuel mileage here at Pocono. We've seen it happen in real life as well here at Pocono. Drivers going to turn number 3, leading, running out of gas, but they don't quite make it back to the start-finish line. So a lot on the line, a long way to go. Battle unfolding. McLean on the inside. Hard on the high side. Back into one little squeeze play action there. Not going to hold off the charge by that 31 Napa Auto Machine down on the bottom of the racetrack. Going to keep that Monte Carlo underneath him. They'll stay side by side back to the tunnel. Finally able to complete that pass, man. It felt like it took about forever here tonight. 3 laps to complete the pass. And Ron moves himself into 6th position, back to the front of the field. There's that Bennett's number 8 machine of Braxton DeWeese. Starting to reel back in Brett Hahn, stepping away from Wildson, who had a pretty strong charge and a pretty good fight going on for about a lap and a half. Looks like has elected to fall back a little bit, maybe Maybe get into some tire saving, maybe some fuel strategy. Not quite sure, but it's never too early to get on the right side of the fuel strategy. Here at Pocono, that's for sure. A lot of heartbreakers being lost by gallons. Field separated by 18.5 seconds from the front to the rear. Debut race here tonight for John Demester, back at the tail end of the field. Quiet and calm right now. We'll see if that number 2 can make a charge up through the field a little bit later on here tonight. It looks like drivers starting to struggle. A little bit of that grip under the exit of turn 1. And that's a big difference, too, for some of you race fans at home that maybe haven't been behind the wheel of these machines, maybe aren't a part of the racing community. These cars, the way they handle, the way they feel on the corner exit, especially when they start to really yaw out and really start to get sideways on you, just a much more, in my opinion, out of control feel than what the cars of nowadays are. These, the next gen cars, or the Gen 7s, I believe it is by now. They just, the way the wheel lightens up in your hands when you start to feel that looseness, and the way you can kind of, you can drive it out of it a little bit more in these cars as well. The downforce package is way different. Personally, I think these machines were a little bit tougher to drive, a little easier to save, definitely a little more dangerous. But I think these cars right here lended themselves to a lot more racing action without being so heavily reliant on certain aspects that the cars are now. We're not going to get into all that. We got a long race here tonight. We can get into semantics a little bit later. As we continue this long opening green flag run here tonight from Pocono Raceway, you're watching the ASRC Gen 4 Series, brought to you by PremierRacingSetups.com, iRacing's longest running setup shop. You don't build a brand, you don't build a background without being the best, the absolute best in the business. You can find a link down in the description for them. Once again, that's PremierRacingSetups.com. They've got something for everybody, not just these heavy tin tops. You like the open wheels, asphalt, dirt, they got you covered. Maybe you like doing a little bit of that rally cross. Maybe you like rally racing. They got it all from open wheel to Formula style. Get that competitive edge with a little bit of coaching right there. All from PremierRacingSetups.com. Back at the front, we're going to go back to the battle for the race lead. Braxton DeWeese laying in wait, some if you will. We got a Ford Mustang battling out with a Ford Taurus at the front of the field. Fight for supremacy. 2 previous race winners going at it. A little bit of tire smoke at a Honda on the bottom of the racetrack, and back to the point. New race leader once again. DeWeese going to officially lead a lap here tonight from Pocono. It took him a handful of laps to get to where he needed to be last week at Atlanta. Started from the front, dropped back to second for the opening 16 laps. Back to the point once again, and already stretching his legs. Looks like, I don't want to say I was right. I don't want to say I was correct. That he was maybe playing possum, that he was maybe laying in wait, taking it easy on the tires. But that's what we're looking at right here. He's just kind of didn't really fight that pass for position on Han. Elected to just kind of, I don't want to say roll over either, elected to be surgical. And say, I'll give it up now. I'll hold on to the tires a little bit. That's not going to help the tires, that's for sure. A little bit loose. Out of the tunnel turn, down into turn number 3. That's going to allow Han to take a little look to the inside. Big slide to the rear for all 3 of these drivers running inside of your top 3. But there it is, forward bite up off of the corner. And Braxton DeWeese opens things up 0.3 of a second. Back down into turn number 1. Got a battle brewing once again. A little further back through the field, Ron Hart, let's take a look here. That Menard's number 51, man, he's quick. He's making a move up 9 positions early here tonight. Going to take that spot away from the Pinkerton number 38 machine. David Patton going to fall back to 6th. Chris, hope the mic levels are good for you now. We turned them up just a little bit. We don't want to, we got to watch how high we go, because then when I do get excited, things might get a little ear piercing. Nonetheless, man, right here, I'm telling you. I'm calling it right now. Lap number 20. Lap number 20. This number 51 machine, if he doesn't wreck tonight, if he doesn't put that thing in the wall, if he doesn't have a pit road penalty, he's going to be in the top 3. Started dead last. Dead last. 14th position. In 20 laps, a quarter of the way through tonight's race, he is more than halfway through the field. Ron Hart, he got some speed. We're going to head back to the front with Braxton DeWeese. On catfishing for something down there on the bottom. Not making any headway. We've got our first round of green flag pit stops underway as Brian Wildison going to give up that 3rd position and head down pit road this time by. That's going to pull the 51 of Ron Hart along with him. This is where it's going to get interesting to race fans, because these drivers coming down pit road, they're going to be, or they should be, much quicker. The grip levels, the tire life. I know 20 laps doesn't sound like much, but keep in mind this is 2.5 miles around this racetrack. In the grand scheme of things, about 50 miles or more, give or take a mile here or there. And Han looking to okey doke the field as well. Han not allowing the undercut. He's going to head to pit road this time around. So what's DeWeese going to do here? He's had a heck of a start to the season. Coming into tonight's race as your points leader. This early in the season, with a pretty sizable points lead, a race win in your back pocket, do you maybe do something nobody else is doing? McLean and McIntyre also down pit road with Han last time around, and it looks like the 8's not going to waste any time. He's going to head to pit road. No, he's going to fool us. He's going to stay out for yet another lap. So the round of green flag pit stop starts on lap number 20. It's going to continue to unfold here. Biggest thing is trying to keep yourself on the lead lap. Jimmy McIntyre having some problems on pit road. He's going to fall one lap down. Your first and only driver listed one lap down, but there you can see that 31 of McLean. He's made his pit stop. So no longer in danger. No longer in danger of losing that lap to Weeze. Stretching it here. Zachary Postman down pit lane. So far, we've been clean and clear on pit road. Pit road police not popping anybody as race leader. Braxton Dewey's going to head to pit road. Nick Fleury behind the wheel of his 25 machine. What's he going to do? He's going to head to pit road. That's going to pull David Patton along with him. Patton hard on the brakes. Getting on to pit lane. Ooh. Looked a little bit quick for that Pinkerton number 38 machine. We'll see what the race officials think. Devin McDonald, he's going to stay out on the racetrack. The sound gear, Starkey, number 18. Going to become just our third different race leader of the night. Trying to get a gauge on what these lap times are. We're going to take a look. Brad Hahn to pit lane back on lap number 21. He's going to turn in a 53.80 last time around, so not quite the speed that they're looking for right there. But about a 3-second difference. If we look at the intervals, as the 18 of McDonald led a lap, he's going to head to pit lane. Andrew Payne, Stephen Hoffman going to stay out on the racetrack. Top three going to remain on the racetrack. Payne, Hoffman, Swank all going to stay on the schedule. I'm on task. Brian Wildison, though, he's your biggest winner here in this green flag pit exchange. There you can see the distance back to Braxton Deweese and Brett Hahn, who continue their little scrap amongst themselves. But how about the short pit? The undercut has paid off. Wildison gonna move into fourth, looking to eventually take over that race lead. Let's head back to the battle zone. Let's head back here. Brett Hahn, Braxton Deweese gonna go at it here, and Hahn with some damage. Hahn with some left front damage. That is not going to be good. That's going to spell trouble for the rest of the night for that 71 machine. Oh no. So look for Deweese to easily step away here. It's going to be hard charge for Hahn to, or hard press for Hahn to make a charge with that left front damage. Another big winner here in this round of green flag pit stops right here behind the wheel of that Menards number 51 Chevy Impala. Ron Hart gonna gain a spot or two, looking to move himself inside of the top 5. And I told you back at lap number 20, he was gonna be inside your top 5. He was gonna be on the podium. Now I'm gonna stick to it. You're not gonna get me to change my mind. I don't care. Hopefully we don't give him the podcaster's curse. But this 51 man, Ron Hart, he quit. Hoffman's had enough at the front. He's gonna bring his number 86 machine down pit road. That's gonna leave just Andrew Payne. Hayden Swank out front of this field, still yet to make their green flag pit stop. And this is where it can get troublesome, right? Because here's Andrew Payne leading this field, but right there you can see him in the background. At 9:51 of Brian Wildest, he's made his pit stop. Will this 93, will the 35 be able to stay on the lead lap? That's going to be crucial here. If they can stay on the lead lap, 95 going to split him. What a move. He got tired of waiting. Brian Wildest back to the point here. He's going to head back to the front of the field. And these two drivers going to continue to stretch this field. Let's find the battle. Where's it at? Right here around that 7th position. Nick Fleury taking the spot away from Ron Hart. So it seemed to be a good pickup for Hart, now faltering just a little bit here. Giving up a position to Nick Fleury, that's going to put him, I believe, right at a top 5. Once the round of green flag pits finish themselves off. Still 2 drivers yet to make their green flag pit stop. Hayden Swank, well, he's going to join the list of drivers that have made a pit stop. Swank and Payne to pit road this time around. That will finish out the first round of green flag pit stops here tonight. Live from Pocono Raceway, Brian Wildison going to be your big winner. After the round of pit stops, he's going to come out with a 2.5 second advantage over Braxton DeWeese, who has left Brett Hahn. Easy sailing for the front 2. Brett Hahn right here, with the 38 of David Patton just in front of him. Patton listed 1 lap down, had a little bit oh my goodness, a little bit of issues on pit road. No real problems in the box, just a little bit slowed down pit road, a little bit off speed after having to lock up the tires. One of the drivers that was hot in the pit road got on the brakes, had to stay on them a little bit harder than maybe desired. Gonna give up a little bit of ground, a little bit of time. See if he can't make some headway as we continue this long green flag run live here from Pocono Raceway. You're watching the Pythagorean Theorem 200. Battle just at that top 10 position. Andrew Payne holding on to 10th. Hayden Swank right behind him in the 35. These 2 drivers pitted together back on lap number 28. Longest run of anybody in the field. Looks like they're going to be on a 2-stop strategy. Some of this field may be on a 3-stop strategy. We're going to see how it all shakes out. We're going to see how it plays out. But right now, let's head up here with Braxton DeWeese, because he's beginning to wheel in while this 1 second shaved off of the advantage of that 951. Braxton DeWeese is on a charge. Lap traffic may be coming into play as well. There you can see that number 2 machine of John DeMester to the high side. Race leader going to go down to the bottom, back down Long Pond straightaway and into the tunnel turn. Wildest in a little bit of trouble getting by the lap machine. That's going to really allow DeWeese to close in. There you can see over half a second gained just down that Long Pond straightaway through the short shooting into turn number 3. Goes in it, inch by inch, bit by bit. Here he comes, man on a mission. Let's go. On board. Braxton DeWeese sitting in second. There you can see the gap. And what better motivation, right, for a driver than seeing the car in front of you get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's a beautiful feeling because you know you're reeling them in. Only these two drivers know how hard they're pushing these machines at the moment. So, could it be a story of overdriving? Could it be a story of wearing out the tires? We're gonna have to wait to find out as we watch a handful of drivers make their way through two. There's the front of the field, and DeWeese has arrived. He is there, and he is looking to the inside. Your pole sitter looking for the race lead. Once again, back into turn one. No fight here. DeWeese gonna easily grab that position. 3 lap fresher tires. It showed 2.5 second deficit. Erased. So just like that, your Premier Racing Setup Pole Award winner Braxton DeWeese gonna head back to the point. Waldison gonna fall to second. Brett Hahn sitting in third. Damage on the left front for Hahn. Will he be able to keep that third position? Got a big gap back behind him, about a 5-second deficit to Fleury. So we'll see if Nick or maybe McLean can make some headway on Hahn. Will we see some late race trouble? We haven't seen any of these drivers push it over the limits. They've tested it getting a little loose out of 2, or loose out of 1, we should say. Nobody overstepping that fine line. As the laps wind down, as the checkered flag gets nearer, will we see anybody push the envelope a little further? Maybe try to get just a little bit more out of the car. We're going to find out. We're going to see Ron Hart with an early pit stop here. The 51 going to head down pit road. He's going to join a list of drivers off of the lead lap, and it looks like 2 retirements here tonight. The 38 of David Patton has to head behind the wall. Zachary Postma back at the hauler as well. So 14 now down to 12 with only 10 remaining. On the lead lap, DeWeese continue to click off quick ones. And here's the problem. This is what we were talking about for that 93 of Andrew Payne and the 35 of Hayden Swank. Would they be able to stay on the lead lap after the round of green flag pit stops? And here's our answer. Swank fallen victim to the front of the field. Woo! Big moment and slide job right across the nose of that 35. Woo. Wildest cutting it close. There's DeWeese down to the bottom. He's going to go around the 93 Team Conti machine of Andrew Payne. And Payne's just got to worry about trying to stay with him right now, right? He's got about 5 lap fresher tires. He's got to stay right here. But he's going to have to make this two-stop strategy work now. He's not going to make 3 stops and make it work. It's out the window now. By losing this lap during this second run, Andrew Payne, as well as Hayden Swank, without the help of a caution, they've painted themselves into corner to committing to a 2-stop race. We'll see if that's the race-winning strategy as we creep closer to the halfway point. They say we jump on it a little early, give you a little mid-race report, your driver highlights and spotlights, your halfway rundown here tonight, starting front of the field, running front of the field, your Premier Racing Setup Pole Award winner behind the wheel of that Bennett's number 08, Braxton DeWeese looks to lead the most laps. Looks to walk away with a race win. Can he do it back to back? We'll find out soon. Live here from Pocono. That's going to move us right along in second. Great run so far. Hometown track for Brian Wildison. Will the Hanover, Pennsylvania native be able to get the hometown crowd involved? Walk away with the checkered flag, up one position from where he started here tonight. You can see him just back in the background, the Michigan native. Viagra man. He needs a little help. He's behind the race leader by about 6.5 seconds. It's gonna be hard to make up, especially with that left front damage. We'll see how the rest of his race unfolds. Sitting in fourth here tonight, Nick Fleury. Great little run here for Fleury. Started fourth, dropped a handful of spots. Now back into that fourth place starting position. The Racing for Christ number 25 machine looking good, looking clean. Can he get the job done? Is a podium in store for Fleury here tonight? We're going to find out as we head back to fifth place runner Matt McLean. Napa Auto Parts, number 31 machine. Early battles here tonight have served him well. He has stayed clean. Great pit stop by the crew has put him in position up 2 spots from where he qualified. Mac McLean holding on to a top 5. That's going to do it for your driver highlights and spotlights. Your mid-race report looks a little something like this. 14 drivers to the starting grid. We still have 11 out there on the racetrack, but only 7 remain. On the lead lap, DeWeese, Wildison, Hahn, Fleury, and McLean, your top 5. And there it is, second place runner Brian Wildison. He's going to head back down pit road just like clockwork. Another 20-lap run for Wildison. DeWeese going to stay out on the racetrack. And could we see, this is something that we haven't even discussed yet here tonight. Could we see flag to flag racing? Could we go tonight's Pythagorean Theorem 200 caution free? Can we see all 80 laps run under green flag conditions? Brett Hahn to pit road this time around, sticking to his original pit strategy. Let's go to a battle, guys. Let's get back here with a battle on the racetrack. We've got 3 drivers lined up. They're not on the lead lap. They're battling for positions nonetheless. Andrew Payne, Hayden Swank, and Stephen Hoffman going at it here, 8th, 9th, and 10th on the racetrack. It is one of your only battles on the racetrack, so we are going to give these guys the coverage they deserve. They're not battling for nothing. Here's the trouble with the two stop strategy, in my opinion. We're going to dive right into this one, right? Andrew Payne, Hayden Swank, pit road, lap number 28. Staying true to that cycle. They're going to have to come to pit road right around lap number 56. It's going to be 24 laps. That is enough to get them to the end. Braxton DeWeeser, points leader, your pole center, your race leader to pit road. He's going to hand the race lead over to Nick Fleury. Fleury once again, front of the field. Matt McLean now to second. Jimmy McIntyre up to third. A Wildison back into fourth. And that's huge. Wildison able to not only keep himself on the lead lap, but make a pit stop and be able to stay out in front of both Swank and Payne. And not by a little, I mean by a lot. The strategy, I just don't think it's going to pan out for Payne, Swank, or Hoffman. I don't want to stick the nail in the coffin just yet. That's why we race every single lap. We could see something happen. Find out if it does or not. Long green flag run to open up things here tonight. We're 44 laps into the Pythagorean Theorem 200 for the American Sim Racing Club Gen 4 Series, live here from Pocono Raceway, brought to you by PremierRacingSetups.com. And there's McLean to pit lane. Flurry going to stay out on the racetrack. Gonna take a look to see what the 81 of Jimmy McIntyre. He's gonna stay out on the racetrack. Brian Wildison now gonna look to move himself back into third. DeWeese right there into fourth. Let's take a look at the gap. Let's take a look at the battle right here. There you can see Braxton DeWeese. Do we got an onboard camera shot, guys? Yeah, let's go on board with last week's race winner. There you can see the man working the wheel attitude, trying to run down Wildison, who this time, that advantage, not so big. 2.5 second advantage after that first round of green flag pit stops. Only about a second and a half this time. We're looking at having yet another green flag stop here tonight, guys, so the thing's not over. Still a long way to go. Still a lot of racing action remain here for these ASRC drivers. Just over 100 miles behind us. A lot of road lay ahead. Let's wave to Roger as we head past the campsites out of turn number 1. There you go. Hi, Roger. How's the guys doing down there at the campsites? Hope everybody's doing all right. For those of you that know, you know. If you don't, well, I don't know what to... Whoop. Please, man. Never satisfied. Working the wheel. Trying to get all he can. McFlurry gonna head to pit road this time around. That's gonna hand the race lead back over to Brian Wildison as he makes the pass for position right there. Gonna wait till next time around to officially get back to leading laps. Devin McDonald to pit lane as well. The 18 machine on pit road. He'll give up that 5th position. And I'm just, again, I'm concerned with the strategy call for Hayden Swank, Andrew Payne, and Stephen Hoffman. Swank has been able to make a move and make his way up and around Andrew Payne. Let's go back there to the battle once again, guys. We'll head back to the front if DeWeese gets any closer. About a 0.6 of a second gap, so we're going to wait to head up front till it gets a little bit closer here. These guys still battling for position, still yet to make their second green flag pit stop, and I would expect that to come at about another 10 laps from these drivers. But again, they're fighting, and they are more than half a lap down. They're going a lap down. I think this strategy is somewhat of a lost cause. But once you're in it, and there's not much you can do to change it without the help of a late race caution. So I think the only thing that can save both the night of the 35 as well as the 93 if somebody has a late race mishap and some problems, and that's going to put us right back here to the front. Let's head back up here. Battle for positions is still underway, and man, I'm telling you, these two guys right here. Sheesh. Little look inside, then a look back. There you can see that Ford Mustang looking to the inside. Will Deweese make the move into the tunnel turn? Ooh, little scrape of the outside wall. Some right side scuffs for that Bennett's. Oh, wait. He's going to have to reload the clip and run it once again. Jeez, look how good he is through 3. My goodness. Eating them up through 3. There it is. Braxton DeWee's going to pull even side-by-side battle into 1. Here we go. Race lead on the line, side-by-side into 1. Lap traffic just out in front of these two race leaders. DeWee's on the bottom with Wildison hanging out on the top. Still a side-by-side battle. DeWee's hanging it out to the high side now. Harry Kent would be proud, and he would probably be a little jealous. DeWee's going to hang it out. Make the power move. Bay off back through 3. In towards the start-finish line. There you can see DeWee's back to the race lead once again here from Pocono. Your pole sitter with a 3/10. A second advantage. We are down under 30 laps remaining here tonight. And I don't know how many people we have out there watching in TV land, but for those of you watching, for you viewers out there, what is Pocono famous for? This is by now, if you've seen the broadcast, if you've watched enough of the races here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, you should know this answer. What is Pocono most famous for? We're going to give you a handful of laps. We're going to revisit that question about lap 60, so we'll see if anybody's brave enough out there to answer. No Google, okay? It's against the rules. Obviously, I don't know if you're cheating, but let's try to keep it honest. The Iron Man Award may very well go to this man here tonight, just hanging on long here. Early trouble for the front end, the Viagra machine. He's had trouble keeping up with the field since those problems. Battled for the race lead, but has since fizzled out. Solidly inside of your top 3. Huge advantage. Almost a 12-second advantage over 4th place. So Honda's trying to limp it along and see if he can bring that 71 home to yet another podium finish here tonight from Pocono Raceway. Let's head back in the back once again. These guys, again, although it's not a battle inside of your top 5. It's not a battle for the race lead. Still going at it nonetheless. And Payne, Quink, and Hoffman. Yeah, that's where the action's been at. These trio of drivers just can't seem to shake each other. Continue to watch this battle unfold as we watch race leaders continuing to close in. And this is spelling even more trouble for that two-stop strategy. Both Payne, Swank, and Hoffman very well may lose a lap before they pit for their second and final time here tonight. And again, without a late race caution, I don't see how these guys are going to make this strategy work. Race leader Braxton Dewey's going to make short work of the lap machines and start to set sail once again. Only 7 drivers left on the lead lap. You can see the 18 machine of Devin McDonald. Next, victim in the crosshairs of Dewey's. We got a driver to pit road. Stephen Hoffman going to head to pit road with just 25 laps to go. He's going to for sure have enough to get to the end, but 1 lap down already. He's going to be about a lap and a half down by the time he exits pit road. I think it's going to be tough, man. I think it's going to be tough for these drivers to make up those positions. Now, what we do have is an interesting setup here. Braxton Dewey stepping out and stepping away from Brian Wildison. 1.2 second advantage through the tunnel turn this time around. We have seen Wildison like clockwork. Every 20 laps to pit road. Will he come a little sooner? Knowing that you can get a little more out of the fuel tank. Will he try to catch that 08 sleeping? And not looking in the rear view mirror. Even though you're out front, you still got to look in that rear view mirror. You have still got to know where your fellow competitors are at. You still got to know what lines they're running and whether or not they're gaining in a certain corner, in a certain part of the racetrack, so you can maybe adjust. So while Dewey's has this 1.5 second advantage, he's going to have to keep his eyes on Wildison to try to not allow that undercut to work so effectively. I would expect to see that 8 onto pit road here in about the next lap. He's been to pit road every 22 laps. We have 23 to go. He'll come down pit road next time around, and that would give him an even stint to the end, if any of that makes logical sense. And I think that's the best way, with Wildison committing to 1 more lap here. That's the best way to prevent that undercut from happening. Be the first one to pit road. Two laps now remain here from Pocono Raceway. 7 drivers remain on the lead lap. Braxton Dewey's out to a 1.3 second advantage over Brian Wildison, who has been his fiercest competitor in the field here tonight. The hometown kid. No kid at all. But Wildison was wanting the race win for the hometown fans. Gonna need a little bit extra here in these handful of closing laps. Brett Hond, he needs a lot of help now, giving up a little bit of time to Nick Fleury. What once was a 12-second advantage now down to just about an 8-second advantage. So giving up some time indeed is Han, and a little bit off pace with that left front damage last time around. Let's take a look at those lap times. Can we get those last laps over there, please? There it is. Thank you. We much appreciated, guys. You can see Brett Hahn 55.53. A little bit slower than the rest of the field, due to and because of that front end damage. So will it be enough? Will the damage be enough for Fleury to sneak in to a top 3? And I don't know. I'm thinking he's gonna need at least. Han's gonna have to fall off a little bit more before Fleury can catch him. We're looking at about a 7/10, so about 3/4 of a second. Right now is the difference on the speed charts for Han and Fleury. I think if Fleury can open that up to about a second gained per lap, I think he may have the opportunity. I think he may have the chance to get there. But again, getting there and passing someone, two totally different things. Totally different aspects. He's made a handful of passes, mostly the back end of the field. Braxton Deweese picking up right where he left off in the Peach Cup 201 at Atlanta Motor Speedway last week with the ASRC Gen 4 Series. Showing out here at Pocono. Unloaded, was quick and happy hour fastest during the Premier Racing Setup Pool Award session. Started front of the field, held it back the first 15 laps, unleashed it. It hasn't looked back right around the corner from securing the most laps led. Looking for a clean sweep here tonight. Braxton Deweese. I'm going to call it like I see it. Race winner. And hopefully we do not give him the broadcaster's curse. You heard us talking about and giving that 51 Menards machine up Ron Hart high hopes. Huge run up through the field. Was looking extremely quick, extremely good, but mechanical failure is going to force the 51 behind pit wall, and he will be out of tonight's race. So a solid top 5 performance out of the window, and Hart going to have to look to recover at a tough track next week, Bristol Motor Speedway. And you know, it might be a good thing for some of these drivers. No tippers flaring here tonight at Pocono Raceway, because I'm sure there's going to be enough moments that drivers won't have to mince their words. At the blender they call Last Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway, the world's fastest half mile. Can't wait to hit the high banks, man. I love Bristol. Oh, and we got that late race caution. Oh boy, Brett Hahn. Bottom of the racetrack, gonna lose control of the machine, heading off of pit road. Let's take a look, and there he is, bottom of the racetrack. Fresh tires on that yellow line, and it looks like it's gonna loop around. There you can see the car starting to drift, starting to twitch. It's going to continue that long, lazy slide and on. Going to slide to stop. Light contact with that inside safer barrier, but that's going to put us under caution for the first time here tonight. That's going to set up a short track shootout I don't know. Can we even call it a short track shootout? 16 laps to go at Pocono. I mean, that's close to 50 miles of racing still, guys. I mean, that's a lot of racing. All right. Well, we're getting told short track shootout style in our ears, so we're gonna, sometimes we gotta question what we're being told. You can't just take everything everybody says and run with it. So sometimes we like to check that the things we're being told are true. Can't be an outlet for fake news week in and week out, I mean. So here it is. Pit road's going to be open this time around. We'll have 15 laps remaining. 13 laps when we go back green flag racing. Drivers do have the tires on pit road. Those that just came down pit road, they're going to look for a wave around. We've only got 4 drivers remaining on the lead lap here. So your front runners indeed going to head to pit road. But look at what this does for Wildest. He does not have to come to pit lane. He was just on pit road. And as we predicted, he's going to stay out on the racetrack. The race lead's going to be in the hands of Brian Wildison. But we head back, green flag racing. So as the field behind the pace car, first caution of the night, we're going to have less than 15 to go. We're going to take a quick commercial break, pay a few bills. You know how that goes. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be back with all your live action live here from Pocono Raceway.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
And as promised, back live trackside before we go back. Greenfield works their way added to the tunnel, turning down the short chute towards turn number 3. Pace car lights are out. we're ready to get back to racing. 5 drivers gonna take the wave around. Hayden Swank, Andrew Payne, Stephen Hoffman, now back in the mix. They needed help. They got it. Will they capitalize on the opportunity? Can Wildison lead them into one? As the race leader, Will DeWeese take it away on the gas, and green flag flies once again. You're in Pocono. Wildison able to keep the race lead down into one. DeWeese gonna have to hold tight for the moment. Nick Fleury close running third. No contact, no incidents, clean through turn number 1. Damage still on that left front of Brett on in danger of losing the position to Hayden Swank, who's going to look to the inside, not going to make the move just yet. Here comes that 31 of Matt McLean looking to the inside of Nick Fleury. That's going to be a battle for third position. DeWeese now with a look on race leader down on the bottom of the racetrack. Will go side by side through the exit of 3. The Bennett 08 still looks for that race lead. Not going to have it at the line. Getting it to Wildison. Advantage DeWeese on the bottom. There it is. Will we see that slide job? There it is. Crossover coming. 951 looks to the bottom of the racetrack. Not going to have the momentum. DeWeese going to lead him to 2. Big look into the tunnel turn for Wildison. Not able to make the move though. 2 laps at caution speed is the difference on the tires. Big twitch out of the front end of that 951. Did you see the front of that car move around? Oh my God. With 11 laps remaining, we're going to drop that timing scoring back over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find your fellow driver, your favorite driver, as we click off the final few laps here tonight in the Pythagorean Theorem 200, brought to you by the ASRC Gen 4 series along with PremierRacingSetup.com. Ten laps, 25 miles. And DeWeese keep it flat, put it at the front of the field, and be the first driver to not just win 2 races this season, but be the only driver to do it back-to-back weeks. Some have failed, some have tried. All that failed. Tallarico couldn't get it done. Brett Hahn couldn't get it done. Andrew Payne couldn't get it done. Will DeWeese set himself apart and stretch that regular season points lead? In that battle for the final podium position heating up. Let's go back to that 3rd place battle, guys. Let's get back here. There we go, right here with that 31 machine, the 25 and the 86. Stephen Hoffman, one of the drivers we were talking about on that strategy, that 2-stop strategy that was in critical danger before the caution. Hoffman was just 1 lap down. He needed the help Ford chance, jumped on it. And here he is, with less than 10 to go, with an opportunity to walk away with a podium finish. A little bit of connection issues for him here. We're going to see if that 86 can hang on long enough. If the internet gods will shine down upon him and keep him in contention. Tough racing here between these three drivers for position. At the front, the Weiss still under fire from Wildison. We've got a lot going on. Two different battles, all four positions inside the podium, and here comes Brett Hall. As if the battle for the final spot on the podium wasn't big enough, we're going to add another car, maybe two, into the mix. Andrew Payne, right there, lurking, waiting. See if the opportunity presents itself. Nick Fleury losing a little bit of ground here. He's going to fall in line behind that 86. Stephen Hoffman back in the lane, starting to step away just a little bit back to the front, though. We're going to stay right here. Down the short chute into turn number 3. DeWee's going to pick the top side. Little bit of wiggle for Wildison on the bottom. Not able to hold it down through 3. And Wildison going to have to wait another lap to try to make the move to reclaim that top spot. You know what would be crazy? And for all the DeWeese fans, please, I don't want hate emails. I don't want trouble. Just for saying its sake, what if Wildison is able to pull this off in these final 6 laps? What if he's able to make the move and get that top spot, pull off the win in front of the hometown crowd, and become our 5th different race winner? I don't think it's going to have much effect on the point standings. Louise would walk into Bristol still as your points leader, still as a race winner, but it just raises that bar a little bit higher. You know what I mean? We're 4 weeks in with 4 different winners. DeWeese in control of his own destiny, beginning to step away. 0.3 of a second as we enter the tunnel turn. DeWeese has just got to focus, got to hit his marks, got to bring it home. Crew chief got to be coaching him. Spotters got to be telling him, your 3-car links up. No pressure out back. Look out front. Do what you do. Hit your marks. Smooth. Consistent laps is what we need right now. The coaching in these final few laps has got to be short, sweet, and to the point. Simple as can be. It's your race. Bring it home. So the battle dissipating for the top spot. Looks like DeWeese opening it up now. 0.75 of a second advantage as we're going to see 3 laps to go this time around as race leader heads through the short chute and back into turn number 3. Let's jump back here for that last spot on the podium. The 0 Kelvin 86 machine has found a way to do it. Man, we said they needed help, and man, we weren't lying. And here it is. This is what you do as a race car driver. You have to seize the opportunities and the moments as they present themselves. Sometimes you don't have the fastest car. Sometimes you're just not as good, the track at a fellow driver. And sometimes there are opportunities that are laid upon our doorstep that we just have to pounce on. Tonight is one of them for that 86. Race leaders going to make their way out of 3 back across the line. And with popsicle sticks on display, race leaders going to see 2 to go. This time around here from Pocono Raceway, just 5 miles of racing action remain here for the American Sim Racing Club Gen 4 Series. DeWeese out front, the wildest falling back a little bit, now 0.8 of a second behind. Big battle for the final spot on the podium. 3rd place up for grabs. Magic Man Hoffman for a moment here. Man. Who can you imagine? Connection problems here at the end of the race, and a possible podium on the line. Man, that's a lot to process and a lot to go over. But we're gonna watch this one though as we head across the stripe. We're gonna see the white flag fly, final lap here in the Pythagorean Theorem 200, brought to you by the Racing Settings.com. Back into one we roll there. You can see race leader Braxton DeWeese looking to capture his 2nd checkered flag. Easy work out of 1 down the back stretch. No challenge behind DeWeese, looking to walk the dog here tonight. Pole position, most laps led, along with the race win. 1 more corner remains in front of this 08 machine, and he's going to park that Mustang back in victory lane. And here we go. Out of 4, that's all she wrote. Braxton DeWeese is going to walk away with the checkered flag. Race win once again. Braxton DeWeese. Amazing job. For that 08 tonight, gonna have an amazing run. Great battle with that 951 who will finish in 2nd. The hometown hero still with a podium finish after leading a handful of laps. Great showing and a great run here tonight for Wildison. And how about the man that finishes there, Stephen Halpin, turning his race around with that late race caution. Pounced on the opportunity, seized the moment, and walks away with a podium. But this man right here enjoying this cool down lap, I would expect to see a bit of a smoke show when we get back to the front stretch. And what a race. Almost caution free. 60-something laps without a caution to here tonight. An amazing run to open up the night. Amazing racing. Great strategy calls going on. And there it is. Post-race celebration on the front stretch in order for your first repeat winner. He's going to do it back-to-back. Braxton DeWeese, your race winner here from Pocono. And we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And just like that, backtrack side here as we overlook beautiful Pocono Raceway right here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Tonight's host for the Pythagorean Theorem 200. What a race, what a night. Let's dive right in, though. Let's see if we can dial up and have a few words with some of the drivers that finished on the podium positions here tonight. Let's see if we can dial up and have a few words with the man behind the wheel of that number 86 machine. Steven, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, you got me.
I got you loud and clear, bud, man. How you feeling after a fine finish after what looked to be a pretty tough night for you?
Yeah, it definitely worked out for us there at the end. We tried a different strategy than everybody else. Was trying to make it a 3 pit stop race, cut it one short, but it looked like about halfway through the second stint, we realized it wasn't going to work. So that caution came out, and we had just pitted and was lucky enough to get the lucky dog there at the end.
Well, man, getting the lucky dog sets you up for a chance to run to the front. How concerned or how worried were you at trying to pick off those positions with such little time to get the job done here at Pocono, where the tires can fall off in a rather a hurry?
Yeah, we had just pitted, like I said, so we had a set save. We took the lucky dog, got another set, and then Matthew and Nick, they were going at it pretty hard there on the restart, kind of too wide. I was kind of just sitting behind them, waiting for one of them to get an advantage over the other, and finally it played out. We was able to get around those two, and then by that time, first and second was too far out ahead, so we just kind of rode and held on to what we had.
Well, a heck of a run for you at the end of tonight's race here from Pocono. We're going to head to from a wide open track like this to a compressed, condensed Bristol Motor Speedway. I know the racetracks and the racing is going to be totally opposite of each other, but do you think a podium finish here gives you any momentum or confidence moving to next week?
Yeah, I definitely believe so. Bristol will be a lot more exciting, I think. It won't be as strategizing, maybe more heads up. So we'll play our cards right, hopefully, and stay out of the mess.
Well, the strategies, when do I hit them? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Man, heck of a job, heck of a run here tonight. Before we let you go, shout-outs, thank yous, love yous.
Shout out to anyone on YouTube that's watching, and then I guess I was kind of blinking there at the end. I guess we got something going on our end, so apologies to Nick there. I guess I blinked on him or something, I don't know, and he slid across my nose, I feel like, and I was already there. I don't know if I was blinking at the time or not, but maybe we got a few things to sort out on our end, but just shout out to whoever's watching, and you guys for throwing it on, and ASRC.
Well, Stephen, hell of a job once again. We look forward to catching up with you over the course of the rest of the season. Until then, my friend, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
Yep, appreciate it.
All right, there you have it. Final few words for the man behind the wheel of that number 86 machine, Stephen Hoffman, gonna walk away. For the podium finish here tonight, that's going to move us right along the list for the man that led a handful of laps here tonight. Let's see if we can't dial him up. The hometown hero gets the job done behind the wheel of that 951 machine. Brian, is Dave, you got a copy?
Hey, Dave, how's it going?
It's going pretty good for me. How about you, man? Almost. And I'm not rubbing salt in the wounds. Please don't hurt me here. I almost got it done front of the hometown. How could it feel to be out front here at Pocono and so close to that opportunity?
Yeah, I thought I had a good shot here tonight, but Braxton definitely had the better car all night. I was trying to leapfrog him there on the pit cycles, and he kept staying out about 2 or 4 laps longer than me, and then he'd be able to run me down with them fresher tires. So that last pit cycle, I was trying to stay out and at least try to pit in the same lap as him, but I was out of fuel and had to come in, got trapped in by that yellow flag, and then kind of had to put another lap on my tires again to catch up to the pace car. So once again, he had better tires than me all night, so that was tough.
Tires definitely a big thing, especially when we get into those long green flag runs that we had here tonight. Very long green flag run, over 60 laps to open things up here tonight. Were you a little bit surprised that we had such a long green flag run at the start of tonight's race?
No, I was really expecting it here. Pocono's kind of a place known for long green flag runs, so it's kind of par for the course at this place.
Will we move on from long straightaways into less than a drag strip worth of a straightaway next week at Bristol? How you feeling about going to the blender?
Yeah, I love Bristol. I can't wait. I'm kind of a short track guy myself.
All right, well, we love to hear that. Brian, again, congratulations with a great run here tonight from Pocono. We look forward to seeing if we can't talk to you again next week at Bristol. But before we let you go, shout-outs, thank yous, love yous.
No, I just want to congratulate Braxton. He definitely drove a perfect race here tonight.
All right, my man. Well, short, sweet, and to the point. We'll see if we can't catch up with you again later on this season. Until then, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Final words from the man behind the wheel of that 951, Brian Wildison. Gonna finish tonight's Pythagorean Theorem 200 in that second position, unable to get the job done in front of the home crowd. But still walk away with a great points day. But that's gonna lead us to the front stretch. The man that walked away with it all, getting the job done, back-to-back race-winning performances. Braxton, man, how good does it feel to be back in victory lane?
It feels great to be able to keep our momentum up from last week and gain some really good, valuable points. I believe we got max points on the night, so that's huge for the points. So being able to get a pretty good lead early's, I feel like a pretty big deal. Definitely relieves a little bit of stress, just a little bit. You obviously still want to do good and keep finishing up front and running the best you can, getting as many points as you can. But it definitely relieves just a little bit knowing you got a pretty good gap. So we're still going to go into all these races, trying our best, trying to get as much points as we can. We're up. I believe the points are, they're updated, and we're up over like 100 and some points. So it's a pretty good cushion. 5 races in, like I said. So feels pretty good.
Yeah, just an amazing performance here tonight. I want to talk to you a little bit about tonight's race. And first and foremost, I want to apologize about missing last week's race. Didn't get to talk to you in victory lane last week. But, hey, you're going to make up for it here tonight. So my apologies, and apologies to all your fans about missing last week at Atlanta. But, you got it done anyway. You're back in victory lane. But tonight's race, you started on the pole position. You gave up that top spot on lap 1. Looked like you just kind of got comfortable right there running in second. Was there any strategy behind that? Was it just kind of just long way to go here tonight? Let's just relax. It's a long race. What was the strategy?
There on the start, I just didn't go. I kind of thought it was going to spin the tires a little bit more, and it didn't. You could really mash the throttle a lot more, definitely compared to last week at Old Atlanta, but. I kind of wanted to stay out front, just kind of cruise, lead some laps, being clean air, just like I said, cruise. But Brett got out front, and at that point, I was like, all right, let's just stay behind if we can stay close to him. I wasn't too sure how his race pace was going to be, so I didn't want to push the car too hard, try to get around him or anything. Then he was like saving and running a pretty good pace, and he was able to just run right around me. So definitely wanted to just chill a little bit, considered it was early on in the 80 lap race, and I believe it was 80 laps, but just wanted to chill, keep the right front on it. I had a problem burning up the right front a little bit more than I did the right rear, so kind of wanted to work on that a little bit. I felt like I got better as the race went on with it, but definitely just wanted to chill there. And I looked at the fuel and was like, well, I don't think a 2-stop is gonna work. I just thought it was gonna be too much fuel you had to save, and you're gonna lose too much time. So I was definitely going for the 3-stop there, and it was looking like it was going to work. I was actually just about to pit before that caution came out. I was going to pit maybe that lap or the next lap, or just around in that range. So, I was kind of, if a caution was going to fall, I'm glad it fell right there, right before I was going to pit. It was honestly pretty good timing for that, to be honest with you. But we were able to we started second there behind Brian there because he pitted, and the caution came out right when he pitted, so we got that advantage to be able to start out front, and we were able to get around him and just kind of set sail. He was there for a little bit, and then after a couple more laps, we were able to gain some more time and kind of get a little bit of that cushion going on the last lap, and feel pretty comfortable.
Well, man, you knocked it out of the park here tonight. You're going to walk away with max points here from Pocono. 2 in a row. Do you think you can make it a three-peat at Bristol next week?
As long as I'm hitting my marks and, got the car set up and, feeling, how I want to. So we got to make sure we run a pretty good line that, saves the tires, but also runs a pretty good pace. So we're definitely going to practice that a little bit and see if we can go 3 in a row for Dale.
Well, Braxton, a hell of a job for you here tonight. Congratulations on the back-to-back race winning performances. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely shout out to Bennett's Publical on the car. Like you said, we've gone back-to-back, and you're all good, man. Health is definitely more important first before doing anything else. So all good. We were able to get that tape delayed. That was pretty cool that Brett did that. So big shout-out to Brett there. But like I said, you're all good. And, big shout out to Bennett's Publical, Interstate Ford, Allen's Arts Images, Jane's on Main, Deweese Renovations, Route 34 Diecast, Rival's Photography, Blaze Designs, Evan Pineda Designs, and Bully Dog Coffee Company. You can use Brax5 for 10% off over there. And everybody that tunes in to your broadcast and to my stream, I really do appreciate it. I definitely got some pretty good supporters, and it's something to be proud of and look forward to in the future. Hopefully we can get a street stock out on the track and they can actually see me race in real life, which is ultimately the best and the goal. So I feel like we're doing pretty good on iRacing. I definitely feel like we could be always better in some areas, just running, fine-tune the little things, but doing what I can with what I got, and hopefully we can lead us to an opportunity and do something in the real world.
Well, man, we wish you the best both on track here and on track, or in your journey to on track outside of the simulator. Congratulations on a great season start. We'll see if that momentum continues throughout the rest of the year. Definitely one of the championship names already this season. Braxton, a hell of a job. Until next time, my man, stay safe, and as always, keep it fast.
I appreciate it, Dave. Have a great rest of your week, man.
All right, there you have it. Fun. A few words for the man behind the wheel of that 08 Bennett's machine, Braxton DeWeese, going to make it 2 in a row. Visiting victory lane for the second week, DeWeese going to extend. And when I say extend, he is going to really open up that points lead. He is going to have over a 100-point advantage over second place when we enter Bristol next week. And that might be a good thing, because Bristol's about like Talladega. A lot can go on and anything can happen. So we'll see what happens next week at Bristol for all of these drivers. But man, what a race, what a night. A long green flag run to open things up here tonight from Pocono Raceway for the American Sim Racing Club Gen 4 Series. One caution, great run to the end in battle. And as producers hitting the buttons in the background, you know the familiar sounds. You know it's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results live from Pocono Raceway for the Pythagorean Theorem. 200, Braxton DeWeese going to take his second checkered flag of the season. Brian Wildison with a good run here tonight. He'll pick up second. Stephen Hoffman going to get a lucky dog and parlay his way into a podium. Gonna walk away third here tonight. Matt McLean back in fourth, with Brett Hahn finishing in fifth. Nick Fleury gonna slide home in sixth, with seventh place belonging to the 93 of Andrew Payne. Jimmy McIntyre Jr. going to come home 8th, 9th place to Hayden Swain. Devin McDonald in 10th. John Demester, newcomer, debut tonight. Down 1 lap in 11th. Ron Hart going to finish in 12th. 13th place here tonight to David Patton and Zachary Postma. Finishing out the 14th car field. That's going to do it here tonight for the American Sim Racing Club Gen 4 Series and us up in the booth. Man, we got a great week coming at you next week at Bristol. Man, I'm telling you. Bristol, and then we're going to head to Watkins Glen to follow it up. Man, some great racing action here in the next handful of weeks. For the series and for these drivers, we're going to get ready to cut off the lights and roll up the cords. But before we go, if you haven't already, remember to show these drivers some love and appreciation, and be sure to drop a thumbs up before you leave. Before you go, if you haven't already, remember to join us in that push to 4,000 subscribers. Show the drivers love, drop the thumbs up, click subscribe, smash that bell over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself or anyone else back at the headquarters. We appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by. So with that being said, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and we'll meet you in Turn 3.